in which you can connect to your RJ45 connector register jack, and this is called as sound card. This is used for sound purpose, speakers, mic, etc. This is for that, and here we go. These are called as RAM. This is called as RAM. This is 2 GB, and this is also 2 GB. Total is 4 GB RAM. DDR2. DDR stands for double data rate, and these are called as RAM slots. This is a DDR DIMM RAM slot. DIMM stands for dual inline memory module, and it contains 168 pins. And this is called as ATX power connector. ATX power connector. This connector is used for power supplying. Get this. This is my power supply. It has lots of connectors, power connectors, to provide power supply motherboard, provide power supply hard disk, and provide power supply other components. For example, if you want to provide power supply to the motherboard, you have to connect to this type of connector from your SMPS. This connector is called as ATX power connector, and it contains 24 pins. ATX stands for Advanced Technology Extended. This one. When we assemble a computer, we connect this computer to provide power supply to the motherboard. It provides power supply to all the motherboard components. Another one, these are called as SATA power connectors. This one, it's called as SATA power connector, and this connector is used to provide power supply to the SATA hard disk drive. And it provides power supply to the hard disk. It contains 4 wires: yellow wire, black wire, red wire, and also black wire. 2 black wires, 1 red wire, and 1 yellow wire. The yellow wire is for providing plus 12 volt power. Black wire, it is ground in nature. Red wire, it contains it provides power supply plus 5 volt, and red and also another black wire, it is ground in nature. Total 4 wires. This is called as fan power connector, and it's also connected to the motherboard. It provides power supply to the CPU fan. This is called as Cmo Cell. This one, this is called as Cmo Cell. Cmo stands for complementary metal oxide semiconductor. This cell is used for date and time settings on your PC, which date and settings which are stored on your PC. This cell is for that. It is called as Cmo Cell, and Cmo stands for complementary metal oxide semiconductor. This is called as CPU fan. This one, this is called as CPU fan, and this one, it's called as heatsink, CPU heatsink, and from below the heatsink there is a microprocessor. Heatsink, what is the function of the heatsink? Heatsink's function is absorb the heat which is giving the processor, and it absorbs the heat, and the CPU fan, it's for cooling the processor and the heat sink. These two yellow types, these are called as PCI slots. PCI stands for Peripheral Component Interface. In these slots, we can insert external, for example, external VGA card, external sound card. If the sound card is not working there, we bring external sound card and plug it on it. These two are 32-bit slots. That means it can transfer data 32-bit at a time. This is called as Agp slot. Agp stands for Accelerated Graphics Port. This slot is used for graphics card, 32-bit graphics card, and this slot is used for graphics purpose, for gaming and graphics memory. These are called as capacitors. These black type, these are called as capacitors. This is IC, integrated circuit, and these two are called as SATA slots. SATA slots. These two slots are used for connecting hard disk, and another is used for connecting CD-ROM. For example, if I connect the hard disk, this is my hard disk bus. One end of the hard disk SATA bus is connected to the motherboard, and another end is connected to the hard disk. This one for data transmission. These are called as RAM, as you know, and this is all about the disassembling process of the PC. Now we have to assemble it. Assembling the PC, I will give you instructions in this coming video. Assalamu alaikum.